Hello, aspiring coaches and leaders out there that want to effectively communicate with their staff or launch a coaching business. This live is for you. I am so excited to be coming to you guys live tonight. And this is the second live that we're doing tonight because we want at Breakthrough for Life, we want to help 1 million people transform their lives through life coaching. And the way that we do that at Breakthrough for Life is we certify life coaches in getting breakthrough strategies and modalities that they can coach others with in their own business under their own brand that allows them the ability to turn their passion and purpose into profits. So, with that being said, I want to welcome to the one of my dearest, and I'm going to tell you, let me load you guys up. I love Ciera. Ciera is great, and we did Ciera at 6:30. But Maxine and I have agreed that in the future, we plan on working together, and she could potentially be my first W-2 paid life coach on staff at Breakthrough for Life. The only way you can get on staff at Breakthrough for Life and be a coach under my brand is to be certified through the Breakthrough for Life Academy. And so let me tell you a little bit about this wonderful woman I'm about to bring to the floor. Maxine has a phenomenal background, beautiful personality, loves the Lord, single, for you single guys out there. But if you got your stuff together, because she do have the kind of coach that will ride at dawn with her. So don't be mistreating her because I'll be ready to come for you. But Maxine, she is a nurse practitioner. She is a professional. She is soon to be a certified life coach. And I am so excited that she chose the Breakthrough for Life Academy to build her business while she's building people because she has the heart of a coach and she wants to see people transform their lives. And so, with no further ado, please welcome to the stage Miss Maxine.
Hi, everybody. Hello. Thank you, Brenda.
Hey, all you winners out there, please help me welcome Miss Maxine and say your last name.
Fomunung.
Fomunung. Miss Maxine Fomunung. I am so excited you're here today. And introduce yourself with stating your full name, which you've already stated, but state your full name, state why you decided to be a life coach, and then why did you decide to select Breakthrough for Life to get a certification?
Yes. So, hello, everybody. My name is Maxine Fomunung. Like Coach Brenda said, she's the best coach ever. But, and so, so I aspire to be a coach because, like Brenda kind of said, my passion is people, right? And it's like I wanted, and though I had a good, or I have a good job, I knew I was made for more. And so and the Lord ended up basically leading me to Breakthrough for Life. And at first I was like, okay, well, life coach, I had never really even heard of it before, but I stumbled upon her page, Breakthrough for Life Academy. And one thing that stood out to me was the fact that, number one, she was a woman of God, which is not too easy to find these days, and an actual woman of God, by the way. Take that as you will. But
Mhm.
also, moreover, her website said something that was very key to me, something about, do you want to break barriers? And when I saw the word barriers, my lights went off in my head, because that's how I kind of felt. Like I had barriers, but I didn't know what they were. And so that stood out to me. And also, like I said, that she was faith-based, and also that even on the first encounter, I realized that she actually cared. And so that's what sold me as well, because it's kind of hard to find people that will pour into you, not from a place of, oh, like I just want your cash, but rather I actually want to see you succeed. And so that's what brought me to Breakthrough for Life.
I am so excited you're here. And just so my audience knows, all they got were 5 questions. That's it. I didn't tell them what to say. I didn't say, hey, don't mention this. Hey, don't mention that. This is an unscripted testimony. And this is the thing out here. This space out here is a very noisy space. You know, we have lots of opportunities to market our businesses. And there's a lot of people out there who would sell you a pie in the sky and then take your money and run off in the middle of the night. And so one of the ways that I try to counter that is to have live testimonies of people sharing their experience, unscripted, unfiltered, the truth. I'm even going to ask them a question that may make me look a little bad, you know, and that question is, what was the hardest part of the academy for you, right? Because I want to be transparent. The Breakthrough for Life brand is all about authenticity, transparency, and transformation. And so I want to be honest with you guys on what this coaching journey looks like, or certification journey looks like, through the eyes of someone who's currently in the class. Now, I wish I could have had everybody that's ever gone through the certification program, and you're going to see a lot more of these type lives coming through. But right now, we just want to hear it. Not that Maxine is a horse, but as they would say, I want to hear it from the horse's mouth. And so, what made you decide to sign up for the Breakthrough for Life Academy?
Yeah. So the Breakthrough for Life Academy specifically, right? So I don't know how many of you on here know this, but so Brenda actually coached me in the beginning, kind of like I said. So she was my coach, and I saw the way that she handled me. I saw the way that she poured into me. I saw the way that she coached me, and I thought to myself, well, one, what better person to learn from than literally the woman that has gotten me the biggest breakthrough of my life. And so I knew that I wanted to, I don't know that I would say replicate her, but I knew that I wanted to embody what she embodied and change lives the way that she changed mine. And so whenever I found out that she actually certifies, which I didn't know that in the beginning, I was just like, oh my gosh, this is a sign from God. Like this lady has to coach me. Like there's no way, because this was just amazing. And so that was the number one reason that made me want to go to Breakthrough for Life Academy to begin with, because I figured, well, if she was able to do that for me and teach me how to do that, how much more of me through somebody else, especially knowing that she's led by God, the same God I serve. So, yeah.
Awesome, awesome. And that God is Jesus. So I want, because in the life coaching space, there's a lot of new age, there's a lot of universalism, there's a lot, but at Breakthrough for Life, our God, when we say God, I capitalize it all. G-O-D, all caps, and it's Jesus based. I mean, we pray every class. We pray when we start. We pray when we end. Sometimes we pray throughout. If one of the students is going through something, we may do a pocket prayer with her. I mean, this is a very Christian-based biblical certification program. So with that being said, I want to share a little bit how Maxine came to me. Maxine found me originally on Google. That's where most of my clients come from, is Google. So thank you, Google. I appreciate you. And now most of my clients come from Google, and she came from Google and she started coaching with me. And in her coaching with me, we were trying to help her discover her purpose. We were trying to help her actually figure out what she wanted to do for the long term of life. And in that, she discovered she wanted to be a life coach. Like we went through, discovering her purpose was a going through, you know. And so with that being said, when she landed on life coaching, I didn't automatically say, oh, well, I certified life coaches, sign up for my program, because this is what I want you to learn with Breakthrough for Life. I'm not chasing your dollars. Now, you are going to invest. If I help you get a breakthrough that will last for the rest of your life and not a Band-Aid for now, I'm exchanging value for value. You will invest, but it's not all about that. This is my purpose driven business. So I'm not trying to sell you something before I've gotten you the breakthrough from the first thing you already purchased from me, right? Anybody ever been a part of those programs where you went to a seminar and you paid for that seminar, and 15 minutes into the seminar, they start talking about the next thing you can buy from them? I don't know about you guys, but that makes me feel like, okay, can I get the first thing I invested in? Can I get the result from that first? And so I waited until further along in her coaching journey, and I told her to go look at other certification programs. Did I not?
Yes.
Right? I told her, go look at other certification programs. And you went to go look at other certification programs. And what did you find out there, Maxine?
Well, I found out that most of them, like I said, most of them were kind of like cookie cutter, in a sense where it's like kind of resemble things that you would kind of find on Google. I mean, especially these days, right? We have ChatGPT. So if you want ChatGPT to teach you how to be a coach, it probably could, right? To a certain degree. But most of them had principles that you could just find on Google, for lack of better words, or just things that were just very template based and very just unoriginal. And I think that the biggest difference, well, I don't know if you kind of asked me this, but the biggest difference is like with Brenda's, it's like it's not cookie cutter. It's everything is personalized, not only in the way that she teaches you, but also in the way that she teaches you to teach other people, or to coach other people. And so it was just very a lot of the same. And I'm trying to remember what else I saw too. Um, and you also just can't be, like I said, there's not really that many faith-based ones that I would see that I had seen as well, which is something that was very important to me because it's something that I kind of wanted to weave in a similar way that Brenda does. So yeah.
Awesome, awesome, awesome. Thank you so much for sharing that. And the cookie cutter part of it. This is the thing that hold on. I got everybody texting me. So let me put my phone on do not disturb as it should have been from the beginning. But one of the things about the life coaching certification is, one, you're not going to find these modalities on YouTube, TikTok, or in somebody else's program because they are trademarked and copywritten by Breakthrough for Life. They were organically created through my 30 plus years of staff development and people development and business development working in corporate for companies like Toshiba USA, Rico USA, Toshiba Toshiba America, and Unisource Worldwide. Those types of companies that I've worked for in my past have crafted my ability to help mentor and shape staff and build business because I've worked in sales for so long. And so when it comes to the curriculum that I purchased, that curriculum wasn't going to get people a breakthrough for life. It was generic. It had a lot of cookie cutter stuff. It had stuff in there about gratitude. Well, gratitude, I love it. I do it every day. But if it's something that you can get for free on YouTube, why would you pay me to teach you how to do it? So this program is not a cookie cutter program. It's custom coaching. But even in my approach for their marketing strategy, we spent 6 weeks on 9 weeks on marketing, how to build your business. And I didn't tell them this is what you have to do. I told them this is a plethora of what's available for you to do. And then they could cookie cutter, take out, and create their own cookie cutter marketing program from a custom bank of ways to approach it. So now they have customized a marketing strategy just for them. If they're introverted, then they may be writers and bloggers and do courses. If they're extroverted, like Miss Maxine is, if you've ever gone to her YouTube channel or to her Facebook page, she does phenomenal lives. And if you're extroverted, you're like, look, I don't mind being on video. I don't mind doing, then you can pick and choose and create your marketing strategy. It is fully customized to you. So what was it like going through those 9 modules on how to build a business?
Yeah. So, oh my gosh. Well, number one, I want to say that it was amazing in a sense of, one cool thing about Brenda's academy is the fact that what she teaches you, it almost reverberates, I think that's the right word, into other areas and other pursuits in your life. Say, for example, number one thing that's very different is how she teaches you marketing. Oh my gosh. You can take what she teaches you in marketing and apply it to other things and be very successful in other things. Like she kind of mentioned, I have like a YouTube channel, and I kind of do like lives and like videos and things like that. And I've been able to, now this is aside from the coaching business, I've been able to take the things that she's taught me and nearly almost monetize my content creation. And so even with the marketing strategies that she teaches, and even the like the communication ways to speak and everything, I've been able to take those tools, and if I keep even applying it just to content creation alone, I could be making a lot of money just from that. And so basically, I found so much value in not just what she's taught me as far as the coaching business, because that's going to be booming too, and by God's grace, but also I've been able to take it into other areas of my life and see breakthrough even there. And I'm still kind of going through, the class and things like that. And so I think it's just been so groundbreaking. And another very, very cool thing that's been happening is, I don't know that I've ever met someone with such a wealth of knowledge. And so it's like, whenever she's teaching you, she's not just teaching you about coaching. She's teaching you about coaching and looking out for you in other ways. And like she said, if you've got something going on in the middle of the session, she will be like, okay, hey, what do you have going on? I actually care about you. And then pour into you, maybe even if it's for just like 3 minutes, to now further help you be a better coach. So it's not just this like, okay, she's going to teach you things and then move on and like, good luck. It's like, no, like I'm invested in you. Like if you don't succeed, that's like that. Like I'm not okay if you don't succeed. And so it's just been groundbreaking because of that.
Yeah, I say this to my clients all the time. Your win is my win. Yep. Unless you win, I don't win. And so I'm committed to the win for every one of my clients. And so Maxine, when you decided you went from being in a 16-week coaching one-on-one relationship with me to an instructor relationship with me, what was the biggest difference going from the one-on-one to the instructor relationship?
Wow. Okay. The biggest difference. So I would say that, wow, was there a difference? I think that the only thing that I can say, the biggest difference was probably the difference between like I kind of said, being a coachee, like just that relationship versus like being taught the way she coaches. I think that there were so many times where like now she's teaching me and I'm like, oh wow, that's where that came from, or that's how you were able to get that breakthrough, or that's how you were able to get that out of me. And I think that it's been so cool for me in particular, like I said, since she coached me, to see the back end of how she got so much breakthrough out of my life. And so it's just been very like cool seeing like the flip between the two. Granted, she's the same in a sense, still the same very knowledgeable, caring person, but it's like whenever I'm hearing the back end, I'm thinking and I'm like, oh well, of course this works. This is this. Like that's why she was able to do that. Oh my gosh. And so yeah, I think it's just been so like cool seeing the flip and why it works, because the why is legit. There's a reason why it works. And so yeah,
when we begin to look at that, you discovering that back end piece of it, like, oh, there's a method to her madness. I remember you saying that.
right.
Maxine was one of the testimonies. I had to alter her testimony and dial it back one, because she said in one session she got a breakthrough. She said in minutes you got a breakthrough that would last the rest of your life. Yep. And I said, okay, no one's going to believe that. That's what I told my VA. No one's going to believe that. I know that's what you put on the caption, but we say, let's say the first session she got a breakthrough for life. So, do you mind? And if it's too confidential, you can say, well, Brenda, I don't want to share that element of it. But do you mind sharing what was the breakthrough that you got in your one on one coaching that transformed your life? You mentioned it at the very beginning that you had gotten a breakthrough that transformed your life.
Yes, which is true. Gosh, to be honest with you all, there was actually so many. So now I'm like trying to like go back into exactly which one it
Well,
was.
you can just pick one of them.
Okay, so one of the ones that I know was very instrumental to me was the fact that I thought that, oh my gosh. So here's one. I didn't know that. So I'm also a writer. And I could not figure out for the life of me why it was so difficult for me to be able to pick up the pen and just write like I know I'm supposed to be doing. And I was trying to go back and forth with myself and like see like, okay, why can I not do this? And it wasn't until I met Brenda and she was able to piece together, and this is something that I would have never like, how do I say, like pieced together myself, but kind of while doing some digging in my life, she was able to kind of like look at my relationship with my mom and then kind of like see certain like ways that she would speak to me. Granted, my mom is great, but just, our parents do what they can, right? But certain ways, and unfortunately, she would speak to me in the past somehow translated into me not feeling like me showing up as my authentic self or doing things is enough. And so I found myself in this stuck place because of all the things that, unfortunately, I had heard from her. And I didn't, and it's like off face value, I was not able to connect the fact that my inability to write, which, had something to do with like, for lack of better words, like mommy issues. Like I had no way in connecting that. And it wasn't until I met her and she was like just telling me things like, yeah, like your perfectionism is actually rooted in fear. And perfectionism is something I used to brag about. Like, yeah, I'm a perfectionist. You know how we do. And she was like, no, sweetheart, that's rooted in fear. And we have to get that out. And it's just not something that I would have ever, kind of pieced together. But it was just through kind of breaking those barriers off of me, so to speak, that I was able to one day just seamlessly pick up a pen and start writing. So yeah, it was cool.
Awesome. Awesome. I love it. I love the fact that for you, the entire coaching journey led into your life coaching certification. And I'm so excited about what's going to happen beyond that. And when you begin to look at the best part of the life coaching certification. I know we've been talking about the one-on-one coaching, but that's just because we got an opportunity. You mentioned it, open the door, and we're there.
Right.
So the best part, what's been the best part of the Breakthrough for Life Academy?
Okay. So the best part of the Breakthrough for Life Academy, I have to pick. It would have to be I I consider, I kind of touched on it a little bit before, but I consider this academy something where it's like there's no way you can go into it and not get knowledge and wisdom for other areas of your life. It's like I understand that you're coming here to whether get certified or build a coaching business, and that's kind of what it is. But the wealth of knowledge that is kind of woven into the academy has been my favorite part, because it's a lot like that. She'll just recommend and give you knowledge about and wisdom. And I think that one difference between like Breakthrough for Life Academy and like maybe other people is that the wealth of knowledge and wisdom that she has, I've just never seen it. I mean, she's got a resource for everything. It doesn't even matter if it has to do with the coaching business or something else, or even if she realizes that there's a certain maybe aspect that you want to implement into your business, say, I don't know, holistic care, she'll give you like things about that, and she just has knowledge for everything almost. And so it makes it very resourceful to have access to a coach like this, because, and this type of academy, because like I said, it will translate into other areas of your life that could make you maybe even more money than even solely the certification could. And so that's been my favorite part, just gathering the wisdom and knowledge and the teaching that she has to offer, because she comes from a wealth of knowledge. So yeah.
Awesome. Thank you so much for that. And thank you for, look, if me and Maxine start crying, y'all just get over it, because the one thing I did tell them in their email is we are not going to be perfect, and some people need to relate to our perfectly imperfect. Amen.
Mm-hmm.
And so with that being said, what has been the hardest part about the academy for you?
Okay, yeah. So the hardest part, you know, I think that most of us that kind of maybe pursue, let's say, like passion, or like say you want to monetize your passion, or you want to for example, be a life coach, like someone like myself, where it's like, I kind of have, my job, but then now it's like I have to set aside time to prioritize my passion. And I think that the hardest part for me is like putting me first, in a sense of like creating outside time to invest in this pursuit of this certification. Just setting aside time from my life, because my life as it was before I even pursued this certification was already jam-packed. And so then now I'm having to set aside time, even outside of that, in order to build for this, in order to study this, in order to perfect this craft, so to speak. And so I think that the most challenging thing for me has just been, honestly, I think something that maybe a good amount of us would maybe struggle with, where it's like setting aside that time to put you first. And it's a principle that she even taught me while she coached me, and I'm going back to that, but y'all, it was good. Just like prioritizing yourself and showing up for yourself. I think that a lot of us maybe struggle to do that. And so I even saw it kind of showing up in pursuing the certification. Like, Maxine, you have to set aside time. You have to perfect your craft, something that she would say. And so I think that would be it for me.
Okay, awesome. Awesome. So now, when you think about right now, they have gone through the 9 modules of business, and now they're in the middle of the transformational coaching modules. And in the first testimony with Ciera, I told you guys about the business building modules. And we're going to still talk about that. But let me tell you what the life coaching modules are. And as I go through this, Maxine, what I want you to think about is which one of these modules gave you the greatest confidence that you could get transformational results in the lives of others.
Got it.
Okay. So now, and I'm coming from you guys. Let me change. I'm gonna put Maxine in the backstage so I can show you the manual real quick. So a manual goes out to every single student once their account is paid in full. Then this manual is an instructor's manual, where it's not just about a textbook teaching. It's fill in the blank, it's breakout, it's discussion. And so I'm going to tell you about the last 9 modules of the certification program that is all about helping you hone your craft as a breakthrough transformational coach. We don't get band-aids for now. We want breakthroughs for life. Okay. And so I am very committed to that, because there's too many people, too many coaches, too many businesses out there that will tell you one thing and do another. I am going to do what I say I'm going to do. And I'm going to give you healthy accountabilities. I'm going to give you resources so that you can have a business that lasts more than 8 years, which almost 85% of businesses go out of business within 8 years. So us celebrating 12 years this year as Breakthrough for Life is a big deal. So these modules that I'm talking about come directly out of the life coaching certification manual. So the first one is, hold on, we're going to bring Maxine back into the stage. The anatomy of pivotal questions. That's the first one you learn, how to ask pivotal questions that create paradigm shifts inside of the heart of your ideal client. Because from the heart flow the issues of life. So we've got to get a heart transformation in order to get a life transformation. So pivotal questions. Then client consults. And we teach you how to do a client consult. We teach you the formula for client consults. And then you do a client consult in the next class. And it's called a client consult laboratory. And you watch me do a client consult, and then you do client consults with your peer coaches in the class. Then after class, you do another set of client consults, so that you really get comfortable in identifying your ideal client, making sure it's a good fit, and how you present your offer. Then we do the groom coaching modality, and then we have a groom lab. And then we have perceptive listening, which Ciera talked a lot about last time, perceptive listening class. Then we teach you a second coaching modality called lift coaching modality. And then we're going to teach you building trust with lift, and then the communication grid, and then the coaching laboratory. So she is all the way through lift. She hasn't done the building trust with lift yet, the communication grid, or the coaching laboratory yet. And the coaching laboratory is the class that brings it all to fruition. So we're going to bring all the marketing, and then we're going to bring all of the irresistible offer and all of the transformational results you have. And then we're going to really seal the deal by now you know what you can do as a coach. Now you know what you can do as a business. And now in that coaching laboratory, the two become one so that you can launch profitably. So out of the anatomy of pivotal questions, client consults, the groom coaching modality, perceptive listening, the lift coaching modality, which one of those classes have the greatest impact on you as far as becoming a transformational coach?
Yes. So that would have to be the groom modality, 100%. So, and the interesting thing too about groom is, like, I know the anatomy of pivotal questions is its whole entire thing, but it's almost like interwoven into groom. So I'm almost like inclined to say they're not that they're the same, but there's a lot of like strong pivotal questions even within groom. And so that would have to be groom. Reason being is, like, there, before doing it, I was I could say, I guess, fairly confident that, like, okay, I'm here, I'm learning, this should be something that I'm able to do. But it wasn't until reaching groom where I was like, oh yeah, this is a step by step. You have to be a doorknob to do this thing and not gonna break through out of somebody. Like, this is good. This is good stuff. And so it wasn't until doing that and then practicing that, me, like, real time watching, like she said, we do labs. And so we practice these things on each other in the class. And so it wasn't until me doing it on my fellow classmate where she was able to get a real time breakthrough just off of that one module. And this is real life, y'all. Like, I'm not talking about something simulated. Like, whenever we do our labs, we actually simulate our real life circumstances, and we're essentially like, hey, use this and coach me. And so the person that I was with, I was actually coaching her on a real issue that she was having using groom. And these lab sessions are sometimes like, I'm talking about like less than like 15, 20 minutes sometimes. So I'm talking about, I got a breakthrough out of this classmate of mine in like almost less than 20 minutes just off of groom. I mean, she was sobbing and everything. That's how serious it was. And so it was only until after that I was like, oh my gosh, like this works. This makes me confident. So yeah.
That is so awesome. Can you hear me okay? That
Yes,
is
now I
so
can.
awesome. That is so awesome. I am so glad you shared that, because one of the big difference, and it's the biggest reason why the price point is so different from an online course that you can go get for 99 bucks to a 4-figure implementation lab. You are utilizing it real time. You're building confidence real time. And Groom is a coaching modality that you learn what it means when you pay for the course, but it's designed, that coaching modality is designed to take you from take a coachee from goal setting to goal achievement. And so I am so glad you like that. You won't find the Groom coaching modality on TikTok, YouTube, or anywhere else. And if you do, let me know, because it's a violation of my trademark and copyright. And so, because this is organic, this is not some stuff where I went and read everybody else's books and I went and did all this. I did read other people's books, but I get with the Holy Spirit and I say, God, what's going to create a breakthrough for life and not a Band-Aid for now? And so I'm so glad that you enjoy the Groom coaching modality. When you think about the business modules, what was it like going through and determining your niche statement?
Right. So my niche statement, that was definitely it was how do I say, pivotal, if you will, as far as like setting the foundation for what is it that I'm doing here. There's a Bible verse that we talk about a lot, where it says, where there is lack of vision, the people perish. Or if you don't know where you're going or what you're doing, you're gonna kind of, it's not, the journey's not going to be too good. And so by solidifying our niche statement, and also she kind of weaves it within the classes, it keeps your vision at the forefront of your mind. And there's something that she always says, is she says, write the vision and make it plain. Listen, if this is your vision, you have to keep it at the forefront of your mind, because if you lose sight of it, your momentum decreases. And so like it's woven in between our classes, so that we can kind of keep that and stay motivated to be able to finish and to be able to work hard in the class, because we know what we're working for. And so the pursuit of the niche statement was very essential to this entire thing.
And so I'm going to give you guys my niche statement, and then you guys, that gives Maxine time to pull her niche statement together. So let me give you my niche statement. Hi, I am Brenda Underwood, and I am a breakthrough strategist serving. Ooh, let me start over. Edit. That's going to be edited out. I'm sorry. Okay. So, hi, my name is Brenda Underwood, and I am a breakthrough strategist serving ambitious female leaders in corporate that hate their jobs and want to unlock the golden handcuffs of corporate with the keys to entrepreneurship. Do you know anyone who wants to launch a profitable business today? And then I wait. And that is a niche statement. You know who I serve, their pain point, who I am, and how I solve their problem. And I land on a question so I don't put them on the spot. They can say, me, or they can say, my sister. She complained about her job every single day. We need to get her. And this is the thing I want to say about that niche statement. You know, that's my primary thing, but I also support corporate businesses in making sure that the people that they have on their team are the right seat on the bus that can get them the right results so that they can have a business blast. And my thing is, if someone hates their job, they're not doing a good job for you. And not every one of my clients hate their jobs. Some of them came for other reasons. They wanted to like Maxine, she wanted to do a business blast on being a content writer, right? And different areas. So keep in mind that I serve the entrepreneur, whether it's already an established business or it's a launching business. Either way, I serve the entrepreneur. And so that's my niche statement, my primary niche statement. I actually have 4 niche statements. I have a niche statement for each of my product lines. And so now we're going to bring Miss Maxine back to the stage, and I'm going to fall into the backstage, and you provide your niche statement.
Yeah, sure. So, hi, my name is Maxine, and I'm a youth coach for teens and young adults who feel lost in their identity and have an urgent need to gain clarity and confidence in their purpose. Do you know anyone who is seeking to step boldly into their future with ambition and excellence?
I'm going to tell you what. I get so excited. This is like the crown jewel of the the certification process, because was it just one session where you were able to bring that up, or did you have to go through? Look, before I can finish, she's like, no. They went through a lab where I explained it, and they did it in the lab, and I was teaching them the elements of it in the lab. Then they had another session where they actually had to do it. Then every single class, they come into the class and they state their niche statement, because I want it to become second nature. When these ladies graduate my program, I want them to launch out confident and profitable. Confident and profitable. So from the business modules, now we talked about the niche lab already, but from the business modules, which module was your favorite module? The business startup, marketing strategy, niche marketing and the niche marketing lab, client programs and client programs lab, getting clients, crafting your irresistible offer with the use of AI, and client consults. Which one was the most impactful for you?
Wow, the business stuff is so good. It's a hard pick. I would just I would just have to say the business marketing strategy. So the marketing strategy that has been just monumental for me, because I kind of touched on it briefly kind of before, but I think that's another difference between Breakthrough for Life Academy and like other programs. The marketing strategies that she teaches you, you're not able, how do I say this? You can apply them to other things and be very successful in other things. And there's something that we talk about frequently where it's like, there's a certain statistic that talks about how it's a large amount. I can't remember, but like a large amount of small businesses, they like dissipate within 3 years or something like that. Like most small businesses, they don't last so long. And the reason is because, especially even with life coaching, like, okay, you can get the certification, you can get the skills, but if you don't have this in-depth business knowledge, it's not going to be that profitable. And so one of the things that is going to make this so profitable for anyone that chooses to take this academy would be the business aspect of marketing that she teaches you, because it doesn't matter how good of a coach you are. If you're not visible, it doesn't matter. And so the way that she hones in on the marketing part of it, y'all, the marketing, it's like, it changes everything. And like I said, she's taken time and years and intentional alone time learning business strategies, learning from the best of the best on how to conduct a business. And she implements those things that she teaches in her marketing strategy in particular. Like I said, so much so to where I've been able to take it and apply it to other business pursuits, so to speak, in my life and see momentum from that. And so it would have to be the marketing. Yeah, it would have to be that.
Awesome, awesome, awesome. And I love teaching marketing. I have been in marketing. My first marketing job was at Darcy Macias Benton and Bowles when I was 19 years old, almost 33 years ago. And I worked and I did traditional marketing. And since then, I have been in some element of marketing and sales ever since. So I'm so glad that plethora of knowledge, because I teach them how they could do traditional marketing as well. Nobody picks it because traditional marketing costs a lot of money. And so I hone in on how you can organically, free, launch your business with no ad spend, no website, utilizing social media. Okay. And so I'm so glad that you enjoyed that. Do you believe that you have been equipped to build a business in a box and get 2 paying clients within 60 days of graduating?
Yes, and I'll explain why. Like I said, the tools that she gives, as far as not just learning how to do the modalities and how to coach, like I said, even the marketing, if you do what you're supposed to do, it's a surefire way to get those 2 paying clients by the end of it. Just because the way that she teaches you, hey, like, do this, that, and the third, all you have to do is execute. And there's literally no way that you cannot get those 2 paying clients by the end of it. So yeah, I believe that I'm equipped because of what she's taught me. I've now been implementing these things that she says to do, and I've already been seeing people that are like interested in whether it's me or the things that I say, because I've been doing how she said to market, if that makes sense.
Awesome. Awesome. I am so excited. It is so important for me to make sure that I have equipped you with the ability to get 2 paying clients within 60 minutes. Are we good on time, Maxine?
Yeah.
Okay. 2 paying client within 60 days. And let me tell you why. If I had not been working in business development and sales at Toshiba and at Ricoh and at SOS and these different copier companies that I worked for, I would not be here today, because my certification program, although it is great, and my instructor and I love her. She is phenomenal, but she taught me how to be a transformational coach, but nothing about how to build my business. I didn't know how to get client one. I didn't know how to take notes. I knew how to get breakthrough. And her job, the lady who certified me, her job was hard because I had been a mentor for 11 years. I had been ingrained with telling people what to do. Do this, read this book, do that, da, 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 da. And some of y'all be like, yeah, you still tell us what to do. That's because you ain't a coaching client. So everybody who ain't a coaching client, you get told. Everybody who is a coaching client, you get discovery. And so 11 years, she had to break me of some serious habits after 11 years of being a spiritual coach at Free Chapel Worship. And a Bible college instructor, I'm used to tell you. Whereas she had to break me into helping them discover the answers already in them, trusting the God, the eternity that God has placed inside of every heart, trusting it, even if they don't call on Jesus as their Lord. Because I coach atheists, agnostics. Right now, I'm coaching a Buddhist, a Hindu, an atheist, and an agnostic, along with my Christian coaches. And let me tell you, it's got me with my head on a swivel. But my ability to do that came from my life coaching certification, which helped me trust the eternity that God has placed inside of every human being and respect it to help them get breakthrough. Now, with that being said, I was great at doing that. I made the shift, but I couldn't find no clients. I didn't know how to get clients. And I was going to have to pay more to figure out how to get clients. So I went back to my reservoir and I went and got a business coaching certification, or excuse me, it's a business certification. And so on how to do business. And when I got that, I was like, this is a bunch of stuff I already know. I mean, I'm just being honest. I've been in business for 33 years. I'm a single mom. I didn't have anybody paying a mortgage and alimony or child support. I've been in business for 33 years in commission sales and commission sales management and commission business development management. And I took that and I incorporated, I said, I'm going to teach my coaches how to launch a business, because that's the biggest handicap in most certification programs. They touch on how to build a business, but they don't land on how to launch a profitable one. And at Breakthrough for Life, do we land on how to launch a profitable business that will stand the test of time? That's what we're all about. So my next question to you, Maxine, is what was your biggest doubt about the Breakthrough for Life Academy and how was it resolved?
Hmm. My biggest doubt. So, yeah, I would say that my biggest doubt was Brenda helps us price point in a sense where it's like, you might have in your head how you want to, how much you want your services to cost. But contrary to what I thought, it ended up being more than what I thought I could offer. And she ended up teaching us the fact that, hey, listen, what you're offering is very valuable and it's very important to charge your worth. And I think that for me, because the price pointing is kind of something that we spoke about early in the journey. And so whenever I started to kind of look at that early, I was like, wait, I'm somehow gonna learn stuff that is equal to the value of this amount that I'm supposed to charge. And I was just kind of doubting, like, hey, I'm gonna will what I'm gonna provide, if that's the correct English, be worth this amount of money that someone should give me? I struggled with that. And so for a while, until, like I said, I learned the groom modality, I was like, oh yeah. Because like I said, in that breakout session that I had with my fellow coach in training, the breakthrough that she had, I could see that moving beyond even the coaching that she's currently learning. And so it was resolved by way of me doing the groom modality and seeing that, like, oh yeah, no, hey, what we charge is our worth. We are worthy of that type of charge. And so yeah.
Oops, I'm too busy trying to get rid of the caption that I forgot where I put myself back into the stage. And so that's very important. That part that she talked about right there, exchanging value for value, because new coaches always come and say, oh, I need to charge $50 an hour, $100 an hour, because I'm a new coach and I don't have the experience. But it's not about your experience, it's about the results you get. Now, let's talk about that. Have you had, because, okay, so now they get demonstration. We're going to go through these bit by bit. So I do a live demonstration when I teach you a new technique, how to have an unskilled conversation, how to have a skilled conversation. That's always comical. Yeah, people are like, ooh, that's what an unskilled looks like. Yeah. And that unskilled is so hard for me to teach now because I've so skilled myself in a productive conversation. But so we do demos. Then I'll show you how to do groom. I'll show you how to do lift. I'll show you how to put together pivotal questions. So I demo it. Then they do it in the class in breakouts with each other. And then they do it with their peer coach outside of the class. And then they do it again with their supervised pro bono coaching clients. Those are people who are not in the class. So let's start off with the demos first. What was it like watching me coach one of your peers in the class? And I'm about to do this right now. She's taught it to us. She's demoed it to us. What did the live demonstrations do for you?
Right. So the live demonstrations were able to kind of like show me the method to the madness, so to speak. So, like, show me how to phrase certain questions, show me, because, like I said, I know what Brenda does work. I know that what she does works. And so, as she's demoing it, I'm taking notes like it's gonna run away because I'm like, the questions that she's asking, they work. And so basically what it does for me is that I grab from that and I personalize it to myself, to where I'm like, okay, if I what she taught, okay, is good. But then now me watching her, which is also good, by the way, because she also caters to the different teaching styles, so to speak, within the program, which is another different thing. I'll give y'all that for free. That she does is that she caters to different teaching styles, which is very important for someone like me because I don't learn by just lecture. And so watching her do it real time, it's sticking on how I can do it and how I can get breakthrough for my clients. So yeah.
That is awesome. I absolutely love that. And, the demonstrations are always hard for me because I actually use 4 to 5 different coaching modalities when I do one-on-one coaching, but I only teach 2 in the academy because the brain learns by chewing through information over a 90-day period. It does not learn by cramming. And I break this down, cognitive retention stats. I mean, let me tell you, those 3 hours, are you ever bored in the 3 hours of your class?
No, never. It's interesting from beginning to end.
And that's because I incorporate those different learning styles. So now, what was it like for you in your peer coaching sessions? What were those like for you?
Right. So the peer coaching sessions really helped to, like I said, I would now like emulate kind of what she did. And then now coaching with my peer, it was a very good and safe space to be able to practice now what I've learned and to kind of build the confidence in what I've learned. Because, like I said, it's one thing for you to just kind of be taught. But then now when you step into that, and you do it yourself, you become more confident that like, okay, hey, this is something that I can do. And so, like I kind of said, catering to like different learning styles, right? So like now it's like hands-on. I believe that one's called kinesthetic learning, to where it's like, okay, you're not just listening or you're not just watching, you're actually doing. And so it helped me as far as like, okay, now me doing this, it's like it's more so helping me to learn, okay, how to really coach somebody, because my confidence wasn't truly built until I was put in a position where I had to real time do it myself. And so it helped build that confidence.
And that's why I call this life coaching certification program the Life Coaching Academy. But really, if the name wasn't so long, I would call it the Life Coaching Laboratory, because that's what we do. So now you have 2 pro bono clients that you're coaching for 4 hours each. Tell me about what that experience is like.
Yeah. So coaching my pro bono clients has been like the highlights of my week. And I don't say that lightly. It's been really cool because I think one thing that I really grabbed from her academy is she'll say something along the lines of, hey, listen, what I teach you is going to work. But if you really want this to work and if you really want to be prosperous in this, you need to take time outside of this and outside of even the things I tell you to do to learn extra things that can help your client. This is your, like she'll say, like this is your pursuit. This is something that you want to do. And so I took that and I ran with it. And so I ended up kind of like learning extra stuff having to do with the stuff that she taught us. It didn't just end there for me. I would kind of do research on extra, even more things. And so now coaching my pro bono clients, I'm able to provide value, not just the value that she's taught, but because she has an emphasis on, hey, listen, if you want to be successful at this, pursue it like it's yours, like it's your baby. So learn as many things as you can, podcasts, what books, whatever it is. And so coaching my pro bono clients, I've been able to draw from not only what she's taught me, but also my extra knowledge that she told me to get. And I've been like real time seeing them just be like, oh my gosh, like, this is amazing. And it hasn't been many sessions that I've had with them either. And so it's really been boosting the fact that like, oh my gosh, like I could really see myself making a living off of this.
That last statement is gold. Let me tell you, my heart is for people to have multiple streams of revenue. Everybody's not designed to be an entrepreneur. It's just because, let me tell you, this entrepreneur game, it ain't for the faint of heart, honey. This stuff out here, hey, let me tell you what, this current administration, it's the wild, wild west out here for us entrepreneurs, and it was always crazy. And so, so I really am excited because I want people to not just have their job. That job is one leg of your table. But then you have some passive stream of income, some books, some digital content, some stuff out there. Then you have a coaching business. Well, And then you have, maybe you have a couple of cash flow businesses that you oversee. So now you have four legs to your table. You have a coaching business, you have passive streams of income, you have your job, and you have a couple of companies that are cash flow businesses. Now you have four legs to your table. How likely is it the table's going to topple over if just one gets cut? If you get laid off on that job, but you got three other streams of revenue, you're not trying to, go swing on a pole so you can pay your mortgage because you've got coverage.
Right.
Okay. No disrespect to those who do. I'm just saying, you get to desperate measures when your job acts stupid and you get an email after working there for 23 years that says, "What did you do this week?" Y'all, if y'all watch social media, then you know what I'm talking about. When you're feeling like you're getting disrespected, you don't feel like, okay, I can't do or I have to have. What you have is options. Right. And that's when she said, I can actually make a living at this. That means the world to me, because it comes down to being able to create autonomy of time and autonomy of resources. Autonomy of time and autonomy of money. If you didn't get what I was saying about resources, money. You want to have a resource so that you can bring in multiple streams. So I'm going to take a quick moment, if you don't mind. I'd like to draw in Miss Teresa. She's one of my certified coaches, Teresa Martin, and she's just talked about when I was talking about the passive streams of income, but she also shared the groom and lift are powerful. So she learned groom and lift as well. And she currently has a active coaching business. And if you're a mommypreneur, you may want to check her out. And I'm going to say yes to that. Okay. So now with that being said, let me show you guys real quick the breadth of knowledge. Maxine keeps talking about Brenda has so much knowledge, so much knowledge, so much knowledge, right? I want to show you guys the two manuals that I went through in order to get my certification. And we're just going to show them real quick. This is my business coaching certification. Okay, you see how thick that is? Okay. Then we have my life coaching certification. When you hire Breakthrough for Life, these two certifications, which were lab certifications, one of them I sat in a classroom for 18 weeks to do those certifications. The other one was virtual, but she wasn't no joke when she was teaching me how to do the certification for life coaching. You get all of that plus 33 years of business marketing and people development. Plus you get 12 years of me being a coach, paying my mortgage off of this coaching business. Plus you get an inner healing and deliverance minister that will pray down hell,
okay,
and make the devil go squirming away, because the authority we have in us is greater than God has given to the enemy. God has given greater authority to us, and we can make the enemy run. And so you get all of that in this academy. This academy brings all of who Brenda Underwood is to the table and allows you to leverage what you need so you can activate who God created you to be. That's the power of the life coaching certification program. So did we cover your biggest doubt? Yes. Okay, we covered your biggest doubt, and we've resolved that doubt because she didn't think she could charge the price that I go through the price points and the whys with them. And once she did groom, she learned I can do this. Now she hasn't even fully learned the second modality. And lift is what helps you break through the barriers that keep people stuck in limiting beliefs. So groom is about goal achievement. Lift is about lifting up the barriers so that people can break through into the life that they want to live. Now, what would you say is the Breakthrough for Life Academy difference?
Yeah. So, man, there's a lot that's different, y'all. But I think the biggest difference that I have noticed is that there's a scripture that talks about, unless the Lord builds a house, the builders build in vain. And I want to tell y'all that God built Brenda's house in a sense of this academy. He built it brick by brick. Don't get me wrong. Faith without works is dead. So her works did play a very large part, but God backs her very fiercely. And I don't say that lightly about too many people. And because of that, it's like, this is good ground. It's good soil. And you can never go wrong. You know, you hear that thing where it's like, where you reap, you sow, right? And so when you sow in time and money into a business like hers, there's no way that it can't shine forth because it's built on good soil. God backs her, and he's and the way that, like she said, a lot of her things are original, and they're original because they literally come from the creator of the entire universe, the person that knows humans way better than we could ever coach humans, literally God. And so because of that, even like the pivotal questions, there was a verse that came to my mind one day where it was just like, of course her pivotal questions work because God has literally put eternity in the human heart. It's something I thought about one day. And so, like, the way that she teaches, when I say personalized, I don't just mean like personalized to the individual. From the way that she teaches Breakthrough for Life Academy, when I say it's personalized, I mean like the creator of the universe that knows humans better than we could ever know them influenced her to do this academy, which means that if you sow into it, there's no way that you're not going to reap well, if that makes sense. And so I think one of the biggest differences about her academy in particular is that there's a certain assurance that you have when you buy into it, because it's like, because of where it comes from, because of where she comes from, because of who she answers to, God, you're not going to go wrong. You have to do well. And so I would say that that's the biggest difference.
Okay, she about to make me cry because let me tell you about this chick right here. We're both single, and she pulled a Bible. Now, y'all know, anybody who's been around me know I can take that Bible from the front to the back. You know, you say something, I'll be like, oh, verse da 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 da. You know, and people be like, oh, just because you know the Bible don't mean you spiritual. Okay, whatever. But this chick gonna give me a Bible verse out of Isaiah about every person will find their mate. And let me tell you, having that Christian community and the Bible reading and prayer warriors in there is so powerful. I love the community that we create. I know that many of these people will still stay connected with each other long after the coaching journey. Long after the coaching journey. And so I love that element of her. Thank you for what you shared. I feel the same about you. I cannot wait to ink that offer to you and see that you sitting in an office right next to me and you coaching people. I am over the moon excited about that. So now, before we go, and I know we're over time, but nobody's surprised. Nobody's surprised because, child, let me tell you, when I get to running my mouth, it's a whole nother deal. But thank you, Teresa, for listen. I back every word she said. Thank you, Teresa. Let me tell you, if Teresa didn't have her own business, I'd be trying to get her to come and be one of my first instructors at the Life Coaching Academy, because right now I'm the only one who teaches it. But with that being said, tell us about what your vision for your business is.
Yeah. So, wow, my vision for my business is I want to almost create a one-stop shop. So, what I mean by that is that I number one, I would love to not only implement coaching with my clients, but also she kind of also inner healing. like she talked about how like it's also inner healing, deliverance. These are things that it's interesting that I already like do in a way. And so being able to implement it into this business for me is going to be monumental. Also, I have a background in psychiatric medicine. And so with my ability to prescribe medications and things like that, I would love to also, if people need any sort of mental health, like from my credentials having to do with, because I'm a psychiatric mental health nurse practitioner, having to do with that, I would also love to implement that. I would also love to implement holistic care in a sense of like, people, I'm very big on fitness, on health. I work out like 5 days a week unfailingly. I'm huge on fitness. And so implementing self-care, implementing strategies that can kind of help the youth break through and break forward just out of all these issues that are coming up today, whether it be like doom scrolling and a lack of knowing where they want to go to college and things like that. And so my vision for that is to almost create a a a place where it's like whatever you need, I have it, in a sense. And so, and then also just create a space for people to be to be who they would have been if not for the things that they've been through. And so just like breaking those barriers, those generational curses, all the nine, I want to implement it all. I don't know that there's something that I'm not passionate about. And so there's so much that I want to do with it. So yeah.
Well, I am so excited to hear about that. And keep an eye on her. Follow her on Instagram. Follow her on Facebook. Check out her YouTube channel, because I promise you, you will be enriched. When I first launched the Academy, people said, why are you creating your own competition? There's 8 billion people in this world. And I surely am not trying to coach every single one of them. And you may align with Maxine's passion. You may align with mine. I am a big believer that there is enough out there for everybody to get a slice of the pie. So if you are interested in becoming a certified life coach, or you just are curious about it, you want to stay tuned. But if you are interested in investing now to become a certified life coach in the July 12th cohort, then if you will schedule a discovery call, and all you have to do is go to breakthroughforlife.com and schedule a discovery call. And in that discovery call, if you put in the reference live 6225, then you will get an additional $500 off of the already quick action discount, which will also give you 2 one-on-one bonus coaching sessions before you start the class. It also allows you to come in and audit one class before you start, as well as it the 2 bonus sessions, the quick action discount, $500 off because you watched the live, and you can come audit. And this is the other one thing that you need to keep in mind. Once you are certified by Breakthrough for Life, you can come back and take all or one of the classes at no charge. I love you too, Teresa. All or one of the classes at no charge. And so with that being said, I'm going to let her go. I've kept her almost 30 minutes after the time I said it'd be about 45 minutes, but I'm just so thankful. And is there any last words you'd want to say to any aspiring coach that's listening to us right now?
Yeah, I think that if there was anything that I would leave you all with, it would be an emphasis on the last thing I said about the fact that like unless the Lord builds a house, the builders build in vain. God built this. That is a surefire way that you should be able to shine forth if you take her course. And also, you know, do the things that you're supposed to do, of course. But if you follow the methods that she teaches you, you can't fail. It's going to be really, really good. And so I think that just the benefit that you'll get from her and taking this particular academy, it'll surpass what you need. She says something where she says that she always under promises and over delivers. Is that what it is? I think that's how she says it, right? And so yeah, like you'll come in expecting just maybe one thing and you'll leave with just a plethora of other things. And so yeah, you should take this course, the certification. That'll be all.
Awesome, awesome. I was trying to comment to Teresa. We didn't mess up the sound bite, did we? You guys didn't hear anything extra, right? Just Maxine? Okay, good. Okay, well, with that being said, with no further ado, it's actually my day off, but I was procrastinating on doing these lives. And I said, when I saw them both, I said, can you guys do Monday? And I said, we're going to just cut it off at its head. And I'm not going to procrastinate about these videos anymore. Now, let me share one tip. The reason why I procrastinated, because I didn't know how to use Restream to do these live testimonies. And so sometimes what you don't know will keep you from applying what you do know. And so I said, you know what? You're going to learn it and you're going to do it and you're going to have to do it and learn it because you've already scheduled something that requires it. So that's my tidbit tip to you. Thank you so much, Maxine, for your time today. I appreciate it. And you will be getting a link shortly for you to schedule your free your free coaching session for providing us all this plethora of knowledge. And that's my payment back to you and Ciera for the time that you spent outside of the academy to do this so that I can help more people become certified life coaches. So this is Brenda Underwood and
Maxine Fomunung.